last year. I know there were a lot of ups and downs for you. What did you take away from how you can be better?
Just being consistent. I feel like that's the number one thing. No matter what you do in the professional job that you are doing, I just feel like being consistent is the number one thing. And, I feel like that's one thing I lacked last year.
Jermaine, would you say that one way to impress the coaches and your teammates is to start showing early on that you're changed, you're improving?
Yeah, 100%. So, like I said, that kind of goes in with coming up with better habits, a better routine with being at the facility, better rehab habits, and just better overall ways to become a better player, whether that's just going over the plays, working on your body, hydrating, and, all that sorts of things.
Is there a wake-up?
You look back at last year, there were times where, you had said, I'm trying to do this. What do you feel like was the turning point, or maybe like the click that you needed for it to actually do something where it wasn't just where you may have changed your habits and you've been able to sustain what you've been trying to do?
I would say the off season, having a lot of time off and, a lot of time to come up with different routines and different habits and, different ways to it's pretty much just going to the other things like I was just saying earlier.
Who's been a mentor for you, Jermaine, even last year, just to say, all right, let's get things going the right direction and kind of encouraging you to be better as a man and as a football player?
Chase and T have really done a real good job, helping me in and out of the facility and, talking with me, coming up with better ways and, listening to some of their habits and ways that they stay consistent and, just better overall connection with my teammates.
What's the best advice you've gotten?
I don't really want to talk about the best advice, but I will just say consistency has a lot to do with it.
Are you excited to kind of prove that you are the guy that the Bengals drafted still this year?
Mm-hmm. For sure.
How difficult was that for you when the team decided to not bring you to that final game of the season?
Nobody should be happy with it. And, I was very disappointed. But, it's something that I moved on from and, grew from. And, can't wait. Really looking forward to this year.
How much time did you take, Jermaine, this offseason so far to think about yourself, your future, and your dedication to what you want your career to be in the NFL?
Day in and day out, sleepless nights, honestly. Just sitting there thinking. I could sit there and just think about football all night. And, it's just something that I love and, something that I really, enjoy doing. So I want to do the best that I can to, be the better player I can be.
Do you think the Bengals are giving you a second chance?
I won't look at it like a, chance. I just look at it, they're, my coaches and they really believe in me. So